Things that surprised us about driving in America. Hi, I'm Marisa, and I did a 3-month road trip across America, and there are some things that I found really perplexing, but there were some things that I found good. So when we got to traffic lights and it was red, you can turn right. But in England, you can't do that. And we thought that was the most amazing, cool, useful thing because it saves so much time. Like if no one's coming, you can just go right. You don't have to wait. And I'm like, yes, we love this. There doesn't seem to be any speed limits in America. In the cities, we saw that there were some speed limit signs, but everybody just seems to just drive at whatever speed they want. There doesn't seem to be any kind of enforcement of speed. Although saying that, I have seen in loads of movies and TV shows set in America where cops are always chasing people, but I never not once in 3 months saw anyone get chased or pulled over or given a speeding ticket or even mention a speeding ticket. So I'm like, maybe that doesn't really get enforced over there. It is funny because here there is a bloody speed camera, I swear to you, like every 100 yards. Unless you're living in the countryside, there are speed cameras everywhere. And it's so annoying. Even in the countryside, actually, there's a speed camera just after Stonehenge, like this a tiny little country road. When I lived in Germany for 6 months, I got like 3 speeding tickets in the space of a month because there were these like super hidden cameras that just looked like normal poles. And yeah, they were just getting me all the time. And I was only like 2 or 3 miles over the limit and I got a ticket. So you Americans are so lucky that you don't have that like us. Because if you did, you would just go out of your mind getting fined. And I mean, everyone I know, everyone has had a speeding ticket in the UK. Like that is how common it is to get one. We didn't understand when the lights were flashing red and the lights were flashing amber. We looked it up online and it said that you can go if it's safe to go. Like if there's no one coming, you can go. We were just like, oh my God, it feels a bit risky to like do that, you know, instead of just wait. But the first time we saw that, we were like, what is this? Like literally, what do we do? We really appreciated how American roads were not very potholed. The only state that there seemed to be like a lot of potholes and the road was quite bumpy was Louisiana and the old Route 66 road. But apart from that, in 14 states, the roads were pretty good. And I mean, here in England, the pothole situation is terrible. So Americans, you wouldn't know about this, but a couple of our counties, which is kind of like the equivalent of your states, but like obviously much, much smaller, they have gone bankrupt or they're not making much money, so they don't fix our potholes. And the ones that do have money, I don't know, they don't even have an excuse. They just don't tend to the roads, and cars are often getting problems and flat tires. I know I had one once because of a massive pothole that I went into. It's dangerous for cyclists as well. Like my dad has to try and avoid going around potholes. So that's a really big problem here, which you guys don't seem to have, which is really refreshing for us. Obviously, we love the big roads, the many lanes, apart from when you're in like Miami, because then it's literally the most confusing thing ever. And it's like, and it's so scary because there's so many lanes and like the concrete pillars go up and around. It kind of looks like China. People drive really fast in the cities. We were in an Uber in LA to pick up the RV, and this dude was literally not concentrating, and he was like that far away from smashing into the car in front. We were just like, oh my God, like we're gonna die before we even get there. And when we were in Miami, people were just driving so fast, so crazy. A friend of a friend like dropped us back to our hotel on the last day, and he was just driving like a complete nutcase. I'm not gonna name names, sorry mate. But we were like, oh my God, if you drove like that here, you would definitely smash into something. So I feel like American drivers are a little bit more bold with their maneuvers. So here it takes you so long to get anywhere. You can be like 20 miles away and it will take you like hours to get back. We're just such a tiny country and there's just too many cars on the road. So it was a really nice break to drive in America and like see hardly anyone or nobody for like hundreds of miles. When we were in Key West, we rented a golf cart that we took from Boyd's campground to the center of Key West. It said on the actual golf cart, this is not allowed on the road, but then they said that we were allowed to take it on the road, and obviously it had a number plate on the back. But when we did take it on the road, the top speed it could go to was only 25 miles an hour. So that was actually really scary, having all the cars like pass us and get really close to us, and we literally had like zero protection. But we felt like that was a safer option than hiring a moped or an electric bike. But still, you would never see that here. That would never be allowed. It was really refreshing not to see traffic lights every 50 yards. Whenever we were trying to get out of shopping centres or any grocery stores, to try and turn left and then get out was really difficult because people often wouldn't let you go, or they would get like aggressive with you. One girl like stuck her finger up at us because she was trying to park in a space in front of us, but we were trying to get out. So she kind of jammed us and everyone in because the RV was so big. This was in Santa Fe in New Mexico. And we were just like, okay, no need for that. Do you know what I mean? People seem to have a lot less patience than we do over here, but I don't know if that's a cultural thing. Another thing we found really interesting was how when we were walking and trying to cross the road, people would always let us go, and they would always kind of like try and hurry us along and do this motion with their hand, which we found really funny. Whereas in England, not everybody lets you go all the time. And we told our friend in Florida, and she said that it's because people, if they get hit, then they can sue. And so a lot of drivers are very weary to let people go so there isn't a lawsuit. And I don't know if she was joking or not, but if that's the case, let me know. Sometimes it was really dodgy. If you had to go across 4 lanes of traffic and go that way, then you had to try and get across without getting killed, and then cars would be coming that way and you have to try and go like that without them hitting you. So that can be very daunting if you're from a small country like England and then you're going to America and you're trying to get through like 8 lanes of traffic. It's like, what? Because we don't even have that many lanes. There was definitely times where that was scary for my husband because he was the one driving the RV, not me, but I was still bricking it sitting next to him. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have driven in America as a Brit, please drop your comment below and tell me how you found the experience and if any of this resonates with you.